What's the smallest country you've never heard of that's richer than your wildest dreams? Tucked between jagged alpine peaks and the winding Rhine River, Liechtenstein is a place most people couldn't find on a map. At just 160 square kilometers, it's smaller than most cities, yet its wealth, history, and secrets make it a global enigma. From a monarchy with shocking power to a tax scandal that rocked the world, this tiny nation has stories that'll leave you stunned. Let's dive into the geography that makes Liechtenstein one of the most fascinating places on Earth, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming. Picture a land where snow-capped mountains scrape the sky, and narrow valleys cradle quaint villages. That's Liechtenstein, a country so small you could drive across it in 20 minutes. Spanning just 160 square kilometers, it's Europe's fourth smallest nation, dwarfed by giants like Vatican City and Monaco. But here's the kicker, it's doubly landlocked, surrounded by Switzerland and Austria, which are themselves landlocked. Only one other country in the world, Uzbekistan, shares this rare trait. The Alps dominate 75% of Liechtenstein's terrain, creating a rugged, breathtaking landscape that's as much a fortress as it is a postcard. This tiny size made it invisible to conquerors like Napoleon and Hitler, who saw no value in its steep slopes. Yet that same geography turned Liechtenstein into a financial powerhouse. How does a speck of a nation survive centuries of chaos? It's all about location, and what's coming next will blow your mind. Flowing like a silver ribbon along Liechtenstein's western edge, the Rhine River isn't just a pretty view. It's the lifeblood of this microstate. It marks the border with Switzerland, shaping trade, agriculture, and even survival. But don't let its calm waters fool you. Centuries ago, the Rhine's floods could swallow entire towns, forcing locals to build higher and smarter. In the 19th century, they tamed it with dikes and canals, turning a threat into an asset. During World War II, this river played a bigger role. Liechtenstein's neutrality, backed by its cozy ties with Switzerland across the Rhine, kept Nazi tanks at bay. Hitler called the country insignificant, but that dismissal saved it from invasion. The Rhine's strategic placement made Liechtenstein a hidden guardian of its own fate. And that neutrality? It's tied to a bigger secret that'll make you rethink everything. In 2003, Liechtenstein citizens did something unthinkable in modern Europe. They voted to give their prince near absolute power. While most countries were embracing democracy, this tiny nation doubled down on its monarchy. Prince Hans Adam II, worth billions, can veto laws, dissolve parliament, and even appoint judges. Some call it undemocratic, others say it's the key to Liechtenstein's stability. Here's the wild part. The people chose this. After economic struggles post-World War II, when the royal family sold priceless art to keep the country afloat, citizens trusted their prince to lead. The 2003 referendum wasn't just a vote, it was a pact between a ruler and his people. Critics argue it's a step backward, but supporters say it's why Liechtenstein thrives while others falter. Power isn't the only thing that makes this place rich, though. There's a scandal that changed everything. Liechtenstein's mountains hide more than just ski slopes. For decades, this tiny nation was a billionaire's paradise, a tax haven where the ultra-wealthy stashed their fortunes. Low corporate taxes and secretive banks made Vaduz, the capital, a global financial hub. But in 2008, everything flipped. A whistleblower sold stolen bank data to German authorities, exposing hidden accounts and sparking a global uproar. The scandal forced Liechtenstein to rewrite its laws, signing a 2015 EU agreement to share financial info. No more hiding, or so they say. Whispers persist on forums like Reddit that some elites still use Liechtenstein's banks for shady deals, though no hard proof backs it up. The country's worked hard to shed its secretive image, but the past lingers like a shadow. Money isn't the only thing flowing through these mountains. There's a new draw pulling people in. Imagine hiking through alpine villages, where every step reveals a castle or a centuries-old story. That's the Liechtenstein Trail, a 46.6-mile path launched in 2019 to mark the country's 300th anniversary. Connecting all 11 municipalities from Vaduz's royal castle to Malbin's ski slopes, it's a hiker's dream. A free app adds virtual reality visuals, bringing history to life, like the Roman roads that once crossed these valleys. Tourism is booming, with nearly 80,000 visitors a year flocking to this hidden gem. But here's the catch. Locals worry their quiet paradise might lose its charm to selfie stick crowds. The trail's a hit, even landing in the New York Times, but it's a tightrope between fame and preservation. And speaking of surprises, there's an industry in Liechtenstein that's turning heads worldwide. You'd think a country of 40,000 could barely feed itself, let alone the world. Think again. In 2024, Liechtenstein's Hilkona AG snagged a PETA Vegan Food Award for its plant-based steak, outshining global food giants. Based in Schaan, Hilkona's high-tech factories are pushing sustainability, with water-saving tech and award-winning vegan products. But food's just the start. Liechtenstein's manufacturing, like Hilti's power tools, competes on the world stage, exporting to the US and Asia. No airport, no problem. Cross-border commuters, over half the workforce from Switzerland and Austria, keep the wheels turning. It's a tiny nation with a massive footprint, proving size doesn't limit ambition. But what's next for this Alpine titan? Liechtenstein joined the IMF in 2024 as its 191st member, a move that raised eyebrows. How does a country smaller than most cities wield global influence? Its secret lies in the European Economic Area, giving it access to the EU's single market. Financial firms and Vaduz manage wealth from Asia to the Middle East, while precision tools and vegan foods reach every corner of the globe. Yet, there's tension. With no military and a police force smaller than a high school, Liechtenstein leans on Switzerland for security. Some question if it's truly independent or just Switzerland's shadow. And here's the kicker. With no airport, goods and people flow through foreign hubs. Yet Liechtenstein's GDP per capita dwarfs most nations. So what's the future for this Alpine enigma? Liechtenstein's geography, its mountains, river, and tiny footprint, tells a story of survival, wealth, and defiance. From dodging conquest with its Alpine shield, to shaking off a tax haven scandal, this microstate proves small doesn't mean weak. Its powerful monarchy, booming tourism, and surprising industries like vegan steaks show a nation that punches above its weight. But questions linger. Will Liechtenstein stay a hidden gem, or will its global ambitions pull it into the spotlight? One thing's clear, this 160 square kilometer marvel is anything but ordinary. Would you visit this Alpine enigma? Drop a comment below and hit subscribe for more stories that'll make you rethink the world.